Welcome to this island-hopping adventure of Simon, the Count of Majorca, a brave and honest noble of Iberia. Buckle up as I tell you a tale of one man's quest for stability in an unstable world. Born on the Isle of Majorca, Simon was raised under the Muslim faith. However, his family held the Catholic traditions, a Mozarabic. King Charles of West Francia has decided to support me with the hand of his daughter before my first taste of the war in Iberia. I take a pilgrimage to Rome in order to ask our lost head of faith for his support in our plight against the Muslim overlords that have taken hold of Iberia. Shortly after the leave on my pilgrimage, I have received word from my wife. She bears our first child. We have encountered many Mozarab pilgrims on our route, and all of them have been pious and devoted to God's will. However, we have soon come into the company of strange travelers from distant lands. They introduce themselves as insulars and tell us this route is sacred to their people too. However, only Mozarabs may take this journey with me. As we leave Venice, right before dusk sets on our ship, we hear the cries for help and look over the railings into the vast body of water. There appear to be three human-like figures sailing in the distance, going aimlessly. I try to make out who they might be, and from my limited knowledge, they look to be shipwrecked. Pilgrims flock to Rome from all over the Christian world. Some follow via the Freudian, others take less well-traveled paths. In the end, we all converge here at St. Peter's Basilica, where the great man himself was put to rest. Standing here with the other pilgrims, I sense a feeling of solemn unity, fellowship shared amongst the gathered, all having overcome various trials and tribulations along their journey. We have walked the holy paths. My journey has been a long one, but I have finally come home again to my wife and newborn child. While much remains the same, some things have changed in how the priests treat me. I have undergone the journey of a holy man, and they insist it has changed something about me, whether I can see it myself or not. My priests may be right, in that my holy path is being rewarded, for they have come forward with a claim on the county of Reggio, on the island of Sardinia. I have looked eastward, like my priests have told me to the island of Sardinia. We have arrived with my ferai and levies for the war that will soon come. However, I fall in love with the island, the people, and the culture. Away on the battlefield, I only hear stories of my son in there. He is creative and keeps his mother on his toes. When it is not a prank, it's a brawl, or a disgruntled tutor grazed with knees from an adventure gone wrong. He never has a dull moment, and we believe he's one rowdy boy. After our war in Sardinia, a relative has asked for help on the coasts of Barcelona. We arrive with the King Charles pox, which ravages our besieging armies. Night comes. I clutch the wooden war table, closing my eyes. Sweat falls down onto the surface. Weakened by holy fire, afflicted with malady. What has become of me? I hear muffled coughs coming from outside the tent. It's already too late for me. I can only hope it won't reach my men. Sickened, I call Hani back to our camp and ask him what we can do. Indeed, these lesions are a sure sign of smallpox. Well, the king's pox in this case. It is very dangerous if we leave it untreated, so we shall begin aggressive treatment for the camp. 4 months of fighting the smallpox, I have learned to love the joys of gardening. Our camp doesn't let us have much free time, and every single moment that I have goes to tending to these little potted plants. Thankfully, after the siege is over, the disease of smallpox seems to have left us alone. After 7 years of requesting help from the Pope, he has finally sent us money to continue our war against these heathens. With the Pope's help, I have claimed the Duchy of Majorca, solidifying our noble holdings to the rest of the Christian world. The Count Gregorius of Napoli dislikes the fact that the Pope favors me. He claims that we are making false incursions on his land. Well, the only false incursion is the one that we fail to take his land, and war is declared. We capture who is said to be the King of Thieves.
Well, hello, Simon. I bet you weren't expecting to see me again, especially after you destroyed my organization years ago. But breaking something is as easy as putting it back together, and I don't want to play cat and mouse any farther. Grant me safe passage to Napoli, and you will never see me again. The guild will be rebuilt far away from you and your riches.
No, you won't get away this time. Prepare yourself. Only one of us is walking away from here today, and I intend for it to be me. Now taste the wrath of God. Obektu shifts slightly to the side as I follow up with a blow from my sword and go for a kick to the gut. Gore, bile, and my opponent's last meal flood out from him, showering my lower half, and he lets out an ear-splitting scream. It is perhaps a kindness when I end Obektu's suffering early. I earn my title of Thief Slayer and march on Napoli. Later on, it is Calabria. We are taking the lands that the Pope has promoted me to hold. It is increasingly clear, from the lowest peasant to the most noble of my vassals, they are all whispering my name, whispering of my might, whispering of war. There's support for my cause, for my people to see me as ruler worthy of this world. The strength of the Duchy of Majorca is mine to wield, and I shall wield it. To strike outwards is what is expected of me, to claim by might what should belong to me. I am destined to rule, to subjugate those around me, and make them part of my duchy. Let the conquest begin. Mercenary bands from all over the Mediterranean have come to settle in my locations, and they join our garrisons. They feed our war machine. After 15 long years, I raised the banner for a holy war on all Gababt Empire. They hold the entire island of Sicily, and we will take it from them by force. All of my allies see the prestige to come. the Sardinian mercenaries under Captain Gavani answer the call. King Alfonso of Asturias brings his knights, and Basilius Basilius of the Byzantine Empire brings the cataphracts. And my Ferris hold this patchwork of allies together on the eve of battle. Me and my Ferris start the Battle of Reggio, Calabria. We hang tight on a knife's edge as all of our allies converge. More of my Ferris die in the battle than I care to admit. However, their glory was won as our allies come in, and we crush the heathens from the Northern African Empire. As soon as the war has started, it seems to have been finished, and the defender against our holy claim has capitulated. May your humors rot in your living body. You are a much greater foe than I imagined. In order to put an end to this bloodshed, I will comply with your demands. The Sultan of Algabab Sultanate recognizes all the titles and vassals held within your claimed lands. Finally, our goal is in sight, and I break a truce to Duke Alberto for the last county to complete the will of my quest. Duke Adalberto holds me in great contempt. To your low character is the subject of Greek plays. You are a much greater foe than I imagined. In order to put an end to this bloodshed, I shall comply with your demands. With the taking of Majorca, Sardinia, and Sicily, we have declared ourselves the righteous rulers of the Mediterranean Sea. Envoys have sailed across all corners of the earth, notifying these lesser rulers about our glorious achievement. This sea and everything it touches belongs to us. Mare Nostrum. I just want to say thank you for everyone who has watched to the end of this video. The full-length video has been made after a lot of practice with my Brothers of the Crow series. It was more work than I intended, however it was fun doing the voiceovers and getting the scenario set up for the actual story. The next one will not be out for a while as I've learned a lot, and I want to take advantage of all those new lessons learned and skills that I've put into practice for the next one. However, I would appreciate liking the video and subbing, as at the time of this recording, I'm at 8 subs. Thank you. You have a good day.